All right, so I've got 4 not so obvious marketing trends in 2024. So the first one is about AI. Everybody's talking about AI, AI, AI. It's all the hype, right? One thing just to remind you on, it wasn't that long ago when everyone was talking about crypto and Bitcoin and Web3, and what happened to that? I think it pretty much went bye-bye. But I do think AI is here to stay. But here's what I think people have wrong about AI. When you learn about AI, I want you to focus on using AI for operations, not for creative. AI should be for operations, not for creative. AI is meant to help you streamline the routine, the mundane, like the back-end operations part of your business. That's where you want to use AI, is to make systems out of everything and move your operations faster. It should not be used so much for the front-end creative of telling people who you are. Everything about that is unoriginal, unengaging, and I think as ChatGPT takes over and other GPTs and other AIs, everything trend towards being the same, and you want to trend towards being different. So use AI for operations, not for creative. The second thing, shorter form on Instagram and longer form on YouTube. Shorter form content on Instagram and longer form on YouTube. So Instagram is like the classic, goldfish attention span, shrinking people, like harder to capture them and hold them. And on Instagram, I want you to focus on creating shorter form content. And by short form, I mean like 7 to 15 seconds. And it's really the opening 3 seconds that matter. It's all about the hook. What are you going to teach that people want to hear? What mistakes can you help them avoid? What are your 5 favorite ways to blank, or your 3 things not to do, or start with a story? But you gotta lead with those kinds of things to get people engaged and following and watching the rest of your reels. But short form on Instagram. Meanwhile, it's longer form on YouTube. I'm really bullish on YouTube, and because YouTube builds trust. I think Instagram is for attracting attention, but really I think YouTube is for building trust. And the people who are making a lot of money with their personal brands, they're the people who are winning on YouTube. Not from like YouTube AdSense, although you can make money from that. The problem with that is you have to have so many views to make anything significant. And most creators are not making money from, not making significant money from their ads. They're making money from building trust. Building trust happens through longer form content that people watch and they really consume. And that happens on YouTube. So I really think going all in on YouTube, and hey, we've not done a great job of this, but this is where we're going, is we're focusing more on YouTube and creating content that really gives massive value so that we can build trust, because then they're ready to buy. And that's how you make money, is not by running ads. You make money from building trust and then bringing people over to whatever it is that you actually have to sell in real life, your own business. Number 3, email is still king, but DMs are coming. Email is still king, right? I think social media is for show, but email is for dough. You still make money from the email list. The newsletter, like returning back to the old school newsletter, is where it's at. Again, people with these huge email lists and long form newsletters, that's building trust, that's making money. So email still matters a lot. But the trend is moving towards the DMs. We've shared other videos about how the dollars are in the DMs. So while email is still king, a lot of the transactions are moving to conversations, right? So we're using tools like ManyChat, and we're hiring people to help me manage my direct messages, and we're spending time writing out sequences and tools, and me actually writing out what I would say in different scenarios, but we're having to have people help me facilitate that as our comments grow. But that's where the engagement, that's where the transactions are going to take place, more and more in the DMs. And I'll say this, all of the email marketing tools, they better start paying attention to DMs, because if we can create conversions in the DMs, we, over time, are going to not need as much to push people to the email list, because the conversations can happen right in DMs. So we're paying attention a lot to what's going on. The dollars are in the DMs, even though email right now is still king. And then number 4 is SEO is no longer about frequency, but originality. SEO is no longer going to be about frequency, but originality. Look, with ChatGPT and whatever other GPTs and whatever other AI tools, it is easy to create lots of content. In this current moment, it's like, oh, we can win, we can create massive content, and by not having any original thinking whatsoever, just putting in a prompt and then throwing up on our blog. I'm telling you, I think that's a mistake. I think that is a short-term view that, yes, in the kind of current old school paradigm of like just posting content all the time and putting something out there and having very basic content is going to bring people. But look, Google is going to be incorporating AI more and more. And I think the way that they're going to use AI is they're going to use their AI to figure out what content is original, what content is unique, what is original thinking, who is actually forwarding the thinking. And this is the biggest trend of all, is originality. When I look at which personal brands are going to win, this is bonus number 5 tip, is I want you to focus on your uniqueness and original thinking. As the world moves more and more towards AI, there's this temptation to just crank out a bunch of generic content where you're going to look like and sound like everybody else. And you have the risk of being replaced altogether by AI, which AI can regurgitate everything that's ever been said. And in a way, that's kind of true as it's always been. Most people are regurgitating the things that other people have said. If you really want to set yourself up to win in the future, what people are going to reward is original thinking, thought-provoking conversations. Don't just recap what is out there. AI can do that. Ask yourself, how can I forward the conversation? How can I advance the thinking? What is my unique take on this? How can I be more emotional and be more human in the content you're creating? And that's how you're going to win in 2024 and beyond.